What you're about to hear happened during a private moment that changed everything we thought we knew about Lionel Messi. A 12-year-old boy approached the greatest footballer of all time with a simple question. But Messi's response revealed secrets about his journey that he had never shared publicly before. This isn't just another feel-good story about meeting your hero. This is about the harsh realities behind the dream that millions of children chase, and the profound wisdom that only comes from living through both triumph and near defeat. Stay with us, because what Messi told this young boy will challenge everything you believe about success in professional football. The Leo Messi Foundation event in Barcelona was winding down. It was a crisp October evening in 2023, and Messi had just finished speaking to a room full of underprivileged children about education and dreams. The formal presentations were over, the cameras had stopped rolling, and most of the media had left. But as Messi was preparing to leave, walking through the quiet corridor of the community center, a small voice called out from behind him. "Señor Messi, por favor, wait." Messi turned around to see a boy, no more than 12 years old, with worn-out football boots hanging around his neck and eyes that held both hope and desperation. The boy's name was Miguel, and he had traveled from Rosario, the same city where Messi grew up, with his grandmother, who had saved for months just to attend this event. Miguel approached with trembling hands, clutching a crumpled piece of paper. "I know everyone asks you this," he began in Spanish, his voice barely above a whisper. "But I really need to know. How do I become a professional footballer like you? My family, we don't have money for good training, good equipment, or even good food sometimes. But I dream about this every single day." For a moment that felt like eternity, Messi just stared at the boy. Those who were present said they had never seen the football legend look so intensely thoughtful. The question wasn't unusual, but something in Miguel's eyes seemed to transport Messi back to his own childhood in Rosario, to the fears, the struggles, and the moments when his own dream seemed impossible. Messi sat down on a nearby bench and gestured for Miguel to sit beside him. "Let me tell you something," he said, his voice carrying a weight that surprised everyone listening. "And I want you to listen very carefully to every word I'm about to say." What happened next shocked everyone present, including Messi's own team members who had heard him speak publicly thousands of times. Instead of the usual encouraging words about hard work and dedication, Messi began to share truths about professional football that he had kept buried for decades. "Miguel," Messi began, looking directly into the boy's eyes, "before I tell you how to become a professional footballer, I need to tell you what nobody talks about. What they don't show you on television or in the magazines." Messi's voice became quieter, more personal. "When I was 17, just 5 years older than you are now, I almost quit football forever. Not because I wasn't good enough, but because the pressure, the loneliness, and the sacrifices had broken something inside me that I didn't even know could break." The boy's eyes widened, but Messi continued. "You see, everyone talks about talent, about practice, about dedication. But nobody tells you about the nights when you're so exhausted that you can't even cry anymore. Nobody tells you about watching your parents struggle financially while you chase a dream that might never come true. Nobody tells you about the teammates who will betray you, the coaches who will crush your confidence, or the moments when the entire world seems to turn against you." Miguel listened intently as Messi revealed how he had panic attacks before important matches during his early years at Barcelona, how he would sometimes hide in the bathroom stalls at Camp Nou, hyperventilating and questioning whether he was strong enough for the pressure that came with being called the next big thing. "There were times," Messi admitted, "when I envied the kids who chose normal lives, who could have dinner with their families every night, who could make friends without wondering if those friends truly cared about them or just wanted to be close to fame." What do you think about what you've heard so far? Were you expecting Messi to share such personal struggles? Let us know in the comments what surprised you most about his honesty with this young boy. Messi took a deep breath before continuing, and those present said they could see years of suppressed emotions surfacing in his eyes. Miguel, I need to tell you about the price of this dream, because if you're going to pursue it, you need to know what you're truly signing up for. He began to describe aspects of his life that the media had never captured. The chronic insomnia that plagued him during his peak years at Barcelona, caused not by physical exhaustion, but by the mental weight of carrying the expectations of millions. The way fame had created an invisible barrier between him and genuine human connections, making him question the motives of everyone who approached him. I remember being 22 years old, Messi continued, and realizing that I had no real friends outside of football. Everyone wanted something from me. Even family gatherings became complicated because relatives would ask for favors, for money, for connections. The sport I loved had consumed not just my life, but the lives of everyone around me. Messi revealed how his relationship with his father became strained during the contract negotiations with Barcelona, how the business side of football had temporarily damaged one of the most important relationships in his life. He spoke about the guilt he carried for years, knowing that his success meant his siblings had to grow up in his shadow, constantly compared to their famous brother. And the injuries, Miguel. Messi's voice dropped even lower. Nobody talks about how they affect your mind. Every time I felt pain in my leg, I didn't just worry about the next match. I worried about my identity, about who I would be if I couldn't play football anymore. Because when you become a professional athlete, especially at the highest level, the sport doesn't just become your job. It becomes your entire sense of self. The boy listened, mesmerized, as Messi described the depression that hit him after Argentina's loss in the 2014 World Cup final. How he had locked himself in his room for 3 days, refusing to speak to anyone, including his wife Antonella and his young son Tiago. That's when I learned the most important lesson of my entire career, Messi said, his voice now carrying a different tone. And this is what I really want to share with you. Thank you for staying with us through this incredible revelation. What you're about to hear next is the most important part of Messi's advice, the wisdom that only comes from surviving the darkness that success can bring. The best is yet to come. Messi stood up from the bench and walked a few steps away, as if gathering the courage to share something he had never articulated before. When he turned back to Miguel, his expression had changed completely. Here's what I learned, and here's what I wish someone had told me when I was your age, Messi said. The question isn't really how to become a professional footballer. The question is, how do you stay human while becoming one? He explained to Miguel that the secret wasn't just in the technical training or physical preparation. Miguel, I want you to write this down, Messi said, waiting as the boy fumbled for his crumpled paper and a borrowed pen. The most important skill you can develop is not your left foot or your speed, or even your football intelligence. It's your ability to remain connected to who you are beyond football. Messi then shared advice that contradicted everything the football world typically teaches young players. Instead of telling Miguel to sacrifice everything for the sport, he encouraged him to cultivate interests outside of football. Learn to play an instrument, read books that have nothing to do with sports, maintain friendships with people who don't care about football, Messi advised. Because here's the truth that took me 20 years to understand, Messi continued. The players who last the longest, who perform the best under pressure, and who remain sane throughout their careers, are not the ones who live and breathe only football. They're the ones who remember that football is what they do, not who they are. Messi revealed that his best seasons at Barcelona came after he started seeing a psychologist and began practicing meditation. I learned to create mental space between Leo the person and Messi the footballer. That separation saved my career and probably saved my life. He told Miguel about the importance of having people in your life who will tell you the truth, even when it's uncomfortable. Surround yourself with people who love you when you lose, not just when you win. Because you will lose, Miguel. You will fail many times, and those failures will teach you more about yourself than any victory ever will. The advice continued for another 10 minutes, with Messi sharing practical wisdom about handling criticism, managing expectations, and maintaining perspective during both the highs and lows of a professional career. As MESSI finished speaking, something remarkable happened. Miguel, who had been scribbling frantically to capture every word, looked up with tears in his eyes. But instead of the desperate hope that had been there before, his expression showed something different: understanding and peace. "Señor Messi," Miguel said quietly, "I think I understand now. You're not just teaching me about football. You're teaching me about life." Messi smiled, the first genuine smile anyone had seen from him that entire evening. "Exactly, Miguel. Because if you become a professional footballer, but lose yourself in the process, you haven't really succeeded. You've just traded one form of poverty for another." What happened next surprised everyone, including Messi himself. Miguel stood up, folded his piece of paper carefully, and said, "Thank you for being honest with me. I'm still going to chase my dream, but now I know how to chase it the right way." But the story doesn't end there. 6 months later, Messi received a letter from Miguel's grandmother. The boy had indeed continued pursuing football, but he had also started learning guitar and volunteering at a local library. His grades had improved, and more importantly, his approach to training had become more balanced and sustainable. The letter included a photo of Miguel with his local youth team after winning a regional tournament. But what struck Messi most was a note Miguel had written on the back. "I played my best because I remembered I am Miguel who plays football, not just a footballer named Miguel." This encounter had such a profound impact on Messi that it influenced his decision to create new programs within his foundation, focusing not just on providing football opportunities for underprivileged children, but on holistic development that prioritizes mental health and personal identity. Those close to Messi say that sharing this story with Miguel was a turning point for him as well. It was the first time he had articulated many of these insights, and the process of teaching these lessons helped him integrate them more fully into his own life. Today, Messi continues to mentor young players, but his approach has fundamentally changed. Instead of focusing solely on technical skills and career advancement, he emphasizes the importance of emotional intelligence, personal relationships, and maintaining perspective in the face of both success and failure. The boy who asked for help becoming a professional footballer received something far more veiled. What did you think of Messi's incredible advice to young Miguel? Which part of his story resonated most with you? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We read every single one and love hearing your perspectives on these amazing stories. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the human side of football's greatest star, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell. We're constantly uncovering untold stories from the world of sports that will change how you see your favorite athletes. And don't miss our next video, where we reveal the secrets that Cristiano Ronaldo has never told about his rivalry with Messi, including a private conversation between the two that happened just last year and will completely change your understanding of their relationship. Thanks for watching, and remember, greatness isn't just about what you achieve, it's about who you remain while achieving it.